Hi, good evening everybody. How are you all doing? It's January 28th, 9 p.m. and we're going to do a Bitcoin update. The work week is coming up on Monday and I really do believe it's important for us to familiarize ourselves with the situation going on. I appreciate an upvote on steemit, by the way. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and also share all this stuff on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So what we notice first of all is the Bitcoin short table that we're looking at. This is the chart for the Bitcoin shorts. And what we have noticed since the 25th is that people are actually loading up on shorts a lot right now. We're talking about 19,000 Bitcoins that are shorted. This is on bitfinex, by the way. So take a look at this from the 24th. We have gone up from 8,500 Bitcoins shorted to now 19,000 shorted. And if you notice on the RSI here as well, we're at a critical point, right? So how does this short come down? The way it will move down is that as people place buy orders to close their short positions, we will see it come down. That's the only time we'll see it come down. But what we've noticed right now is that no one's closing their short positions. In fact, we are talking about a massive gain. Actually, not a gain, but a massive amount of people that have shorted Bitcoin since the 25th that are actually stacking up right now. So if we look on the RSI for the oversold and overbought, we see that the shorts are actually very overbought right now, but this is not going to come down, guys. This is not going to come down until people close their short positions, and they do that by placing a buy order, right? Now, if you look at the long table as well right here, let me just pull it up on my other monitor. There we go. If you look at the long right now, the longs have absolutely gone up throughout the days. 30,000 people or 30,000 Bitcoins are in a long position right now. And of course, a lot of people are long-term holders as well, right? So this takes into account all of that. But generally speaking, we have about only 30,000 Bitcoins that are long versus 19,000 that are short. So we look at the long. Of course, people were going to ride it up since the 25th about, right? That we reached a very critical RSI for it. And now what we've noticed is that the longs MACD is about to cross over and come down, which means that the amount of people that will be buying into a long position is going to be much more decreased. And most likely, as we get more confirmation of a downtrend, people will likely load up more on their short positions. So this is a table that I'm always looking at, okay? So I'm going to go to CoinMarketCap as well here, and we're going to do a quick review of what's been happening yesterday as well. So I'm just going to pull it up here for you guys. So yesterday's chart here, we're going to go to historical data. So yesterday's volume was not good, guys. It was not good at all, okay? For the weekly close, we averaged $8.5 billion only for Bitcoin, which is only slightly more than the 27th. So for the most critical day in Bitcoin history, from what I think, because this day could very well determine how the market is going to be for the next few days to weeks, I wanted a volume of 9 billion, maybe 10 billion, right? Yeah, and not only that, like the market cap right now is only 193 billion, and the total market cap was most likely from Ethereum, guys. Ethereum went on a tear, and that coin actually gained a lot of momentum over the days. Now let me show you guys, for example, I misunderstood it at first, and I thought that Bitcoin was accounting for the majority of the volume. But if we actually look at the volume for Ethereum, it's at 5 billion compared to yesterday's, which was only 3 billion, okay? The 27 was 3 billion, 26 was, 3.6. Today, Ethereum almost did about 60-70% more volume than it did in the previous days. So the majority of it is definitely from Ethereum and other coins as well. We have to take that into account, right? So yeah, I'm not really happy with the way the week is ending thus far. Okay, I'm going to close my longs and I'm going to close my short tables here now that we have a very good grasp on this. So let's take a look at my steemit as well. I want to show you guys some of the scenarios that we were playing out. Now, as a very reactive trader, what I do is I plan for the best and the worst case scenarios. So the best case scenario was that we break out of this apex, right? We break out of this apex and it goes up to around 13K. Now another scenario was that it comes down, then it hovers right around this line right there between 11,500-ish. because it acts as a very relevant support. Notice we had an ascending triangle here. Well, that was previously a resistance, which now acts as a support, right? And then the worst case scenario was here, where we fall to the support right here, and then we fall even lower to the lower range right there. So I counted for all the possibilities, and guess where we landed up? We landed up in my second possibility right here. So when I was playing it, as soon as I saw this breakdown here, of course I shorted it, guys. I shorted it very hard because you know, someone said to me on Twitter, right, and on YouTube, they said to me, well, you're always waiting for the right moment. When are you actually entering? Well, I don't, keep in mind that I'm not an investor. I'm a day trader, so I'm looking for key moments during each cycle to go long on either Bitcoin or short or on my altcoins as well, right? So what I wait for are these critical moments to break. And once they break, guys, once they break, it gives us a solid confirmation of the trend, and we play it that way, right? So for this one right here, it was really easy, guys. It was so easy to play this one. Okay, I saw it bounce up here. I saw it bounce right there. Came up here, this candle right there, 15-minute candle, just about 2-3 hours ago, shot up with a shooting star. I saw this one, I thought, hey, that's actually a bearish support candle that's poking through there. Then I saw this one right there, guys, right in between the 55 EMA there, right? And then as soon as this candle formed right there, I went to a trigger chart on the 5-minute chart right there, looked at it fall below the 55 EMA, and boom, this candle right here actually was my signal to short. So I ended up shorting a lot of my coins. And then I closed my position as soon as Bitcoin started to settle right into my green zone, guys, right? So we took this green zone into account right here, where this was previously a resistance, right? So if you guys know what are not sure what I'm talking about here, let me just draw it out here. So we've been waiting for this to break out all day, remember yesterday? And then it finally broke out of there into that apex zone, which it couldn't hold. So it broke out from this ascending triangle, and that resistance was really easy to nail. It was easy to nail because of this sloped trend line that comes down. You guys would be surprised at how many things can hold based on a simple little trend line that we draw. So unfortunately, guys, this right here is completely broken off. Like it's not something I'm even going to consider right now, because I firmly believe that we're now entering a slightly more bearish market right now until something finishes up in here. So now what we have is basically a support in this region right here. Now what we got to figure out, guys, is this, okay? I'm waiting for more volume to pick up here to see if you can even make a rally from 11,500 to maybe up to the top of the resistance. So that's a $400 gain there, and I will play Bitcoin once we get more confirmation. So now the key area that we're going to be staying in is right here. This one might be about a 20-minute video, so I apologize, guys. I want to make sure I keep myself up to date and make sure that you guys are also familiar with what's going on. So I do this for a living, and it's my job to make sure that I am familiar with all of my coins that I follow, because hey, it's my full-time job, right? I want to make sure that you guys are also on the same page as me for the people that are actively trading. So now I'm wondering to myself, will it stay in this specific zone right now? And I will be watching for this zone. This major support line, guys, like right between 11,400, 11,500 needs to hold. Let's see if we're going to squeeze into here and even have a shot of breaking out of this trend line resistance, okay? If not, right, so whatever happens in here, I don't care about really, except for if I get lots of volume confirmation to go for the peak here around 2K or 12K. But most likely what's going to happen is it will trend in this support region right there that I highlighted, right here, until it breaks out. Now, when it breaks out, of course, this scenario is in play, right? Where we go for the 0.5 fib region right here to about 13K. That's a pretty critical point. And another critical point is a 382 resistance area right there. So that's now another major resistance, unfortunately, because it's a Fibonacci number. And also the second major resistance is right there. So if we ended up breaking out of this triangle, which is actually bearish, I see it as a descending triangle, right? If it does break upwards, these are the critical points to target for profit. 12,000 for target 1, where I will most likely take half of my profit. So what I would recommend to people to do, like, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I do recommend is at least secure some of your profits, okay? You secure some of your profit, and if it does go higher, right, at least you can play with some of the house money that you've already banked, and then you can add more into strength. So that's always an option as well. Now, the second thing that could possibly happen if it doesn't break down from there, you guys just draw these trend lines, okay? Draw these trend lines and you watch for it, and as soon as it breaks, I have tweeted pretty much every single moment of Bitcoin that has happened for almost everything, critical moments for the past maybe week now. So I feel like I'm very in tune with Bitcoin. Now, if that doesn't hold, guys, then we're gonna fall back into possibly, you know, these regions down over here. Then that's going to be pretty scary, I think. So we will absolutely apex into here. So now let's say that we apex into here. Well, this kind of looks like an ascending triangle now, but we have to keep in mind that we've recently broke through this resistance right here, or that support, I mean, that is now actually a support. Sorry, I meant to say it broke through this support that is now a resistance. So is it really bullish? Now, another thing that is most likely to happen as well is it's going to, if it breaks down from this descending triangle, it will absolutely trend right along here, right? It'll trend along here because that's exactly where this sloped trend line resistance is. So these are critical moments. If it does fall into here, there's a likely chance we could apex in there. There's a likely chance that we could apex into here as well. What an apex means, for the people that don't know, is it's two critical points that meet, right? Two critical points that meet where the bulls and the bears are fighting, and one thing usually happens. It goes up or it goes down. Sideways doesn't really happen. There's such a force fighting each other between the bulls and the bears that eventually one gives up when it gets squeezed into an apex. And then eventually, if the bears win, the bulls will just say, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to short with them. And then the whole market ends up going a particular direction. So I'm a little bit worried. So if this trend line holds right there, great. If it doesn't, clear support down over here, the 10K range. And if that doesn't hold, guys, then unfortunately we will see another super low range down over here. So there's many possible plays right now. I think that for the traders, you guys have already missed your opportunity to short unless you were looking at it right over here. And also another great opportunity to short was clearly the break, right? Like, I think a lot of people ended up drawing it something like that. I ended up drawing it like that, pretty much. So as soon as we saw it break, it was pretty obvious that something was going to happen, right? So yeah. Other than that, these are my quick thoughts on Bitcoin. I'm not even gonna bother doing an Elliott wave count, guys. I'm basically gonna. I took a pretty long nap today, so I'm gonna be up for a while to call out all of my positions and my thoughts as this unravels. So, guys, these are my quick thoughts on Bitcoin. I apologize if it's not too much of an update in terms of specifics, but always keep in mind that I am a reactive trader. I'm not a predictive trader. I'm not going to predict, guys, and think to myself, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this exact zone right there, and I'm gonna shoot for this price right here. I always play by ear, and it lets me react to the market as changes happen. And I think a reactive player, they can easily play the market better than predictive players, because we will always do what the market is saying on the charts, and all data comes in, right, slowly. We have to wait for data to come in, and we formulate a new consensus together. So these are my quick thoughts on Bitcoin. I hope it has helped you in one way or another. Actually, you know what, guys? Let's go over indicators. I forgot to go over indicators. All right, so on the daily chart, what we see is a peak right here, right? We simply cannot break into a bullish territory on the daily chart. Despite this crossing over a little bit, I think it's going to be a really dinky crossover. That blue fast line is going to move down like that, and who knows. And then the red line's most likely just going to end up curving like that, I believe, for a little bit longer. So I'm not too convinced of an uptrend right now, and I'll show you guys why I'm not convinced. Well, also, remember last video we were talking about needing to break above this key RSI on a high time frame. We cannot break above 60 RSI even on a 4-hour time frame, not even on a 2-hour time frame. Barely breaking a resistance, not even on a 1-hour time frame, guys. This RSI simply cannot get into a bullish territory at all. The 1 hour, I wouldn't even look at it. It's pretty common for us to reach around those ranges, but it's on the high time frames that is very important. Now, we're going to take a look at the moving averages as well to give you guys a clear idea of how this is not considered an uptrend. First of all, you guys all know how I love my moving average strategy, right? My moving average strategy involves a 55 line right here. I should probably add a 100 as well later down the road. So we buy it on the breakout right here, okay? We buy it on the breakout right about here, about 11,100, and then we ride it until we have officially confirmed a downtrend. So once we have confirmed a downtrend right here pretty much, that would have been a quick $500 profit. Now, Bitcoin can't even retain a 55 moving average on a 1 hour, or sorry, on the 30-minute chart. On a 1 hour chart, actually, we're just about to cross over as well from what it looks like. This candle is not a support candle, guys. It is not a support candle. What is all this stuff on my chart here? Sorry, I'm just checking this stuff out. I'll worry about that later. Anyways, so right here, it's not a support candle because it looks like there's just not enough volume, right? You know, I really have to fix this. It's driving me nuts on these charts because I had to reload it today. That's fine. So it's not a support candle because there's really no volume to support it, guys. None at all. And this one was really scary on the 1 hour chart with a shooting star. As soon as this candle formed here with a shooting star, this implied very heavily that the bears are now in control of the market because the bulls attempted to push it up there and the bears rejected them right away. In fact, this is also the moment where we started to see the Bitcoin shorts skyrocket, right? The Bitcoin shorts went up, the Bitcoin longs went down. So people are absolutely loading up on their short positions right now. You guys, call me when you're bored. Oh, Maria, I know you're watching this video. I'll call you after I'm done making a few videos today. I'm sorry. Yeah, so, oh, sorry, whenever I talk to her, I always I get sidetracked because she's very distracting in a very good way. So let's also take a look at the 3 hour chart now. So on the 3 hour chart, what we see is it did indeed fan out, okay? It did indeed fan out. So I'm going to watch really carefully right now to see if the 55 moving average can reject it. So I'm keeping a close eye between the 11,000, 11,400 range. This is currently a support range, so make sure that you guys keep track between 11,400, 11,500 because it clearly was a bounce. A bounce right here off of the 55 EMA, but will it bounce again? That's the big question, right? Now on the 6 hour chart here, no guys, we cannot even get close to the 55 moving average above it right now. In fact, we got really rejected heavily, guys. We got really rejected with this candle right there, our shooting star. That was a really long wick, 2 long wicks right there, 2 long wicks right there. So in the 6 hour chart, even from yesterday night, right? We were starting to lose control right here already. And then the bulls decided to say, hurrah, we're going to give it a shot. Then the bulls here said, let's do it together, guys. We are going to push this market up. But the bears started loading up on their short positions and boom, it ended up pushing it down. It broke slightly above the 55 EMA. The bears pushed it down. We get another doji, which shows indecision there. Bulls make one last attempt to push it up there in the past 6 hours. And then the bears just said, no, it's not happening, guys. We're pushing the market down right now. So, yeah. So this right here as well on the 6 hour chart, guys. This leveling off, where we can't even break into any type of bullish territory, really does concern me. Yeah, so other than that, good luck. Please stay cautious. I'll be sure to put up some charts as well on the steemit post there, just to show you guys all the possible scenarios that can happen as well there. And I'd really appreciate an upvote on steemit. And make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share to the stuff on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So have yourselves a great night, guys. I'll be sure to update it maybe at midnight if something drastic does happen, but I think we're all on the same page here already, right? So have yourselves a fantastic night, and please always exercise caution. And like I always say, confirmation is a great way to play and to minimize risk. Have yourselves a great night.